some people are saying that you guys risk kids' lives in TikTok.
On Tuesday, April 30th, ESU was tasked with breaching, clearing, and securing Hamilton Hall at Columbia University, which at the time was occupied by protesters who had overtaken the building and barricaded themselves inside. This was a large-scale, complex, and dynamic operation designed to both overcome the people inside with minimal physical force, while at the same time containing them to where they were located, eliminating their access to other parts of the building so that arrest teams could move in, place them into custody, and remove them from the building. During the course of this operation, while clearing an unoccupied vacant area of the building on the first floor, one ESU member, a sergeant, did unintentionally discharge one round from his firearm. The sergeant was attempting to assist other officers in gaining entry to a locked office to make sure there was no one hiding inside. The front of the office consisted of a metal frame door and a large glass, non-transparent window. Gaining access to the office through the window ensured the least amount of damage to the structure as opposed to cutting open the metal door jamb. Once the window was broken, the sergeant attempted to reach through the hole in the glass to unlock the door from the inside. To do this, he transitioned his firearm from his dominant right hand to his non-dominant left hand. When the sergeant transitioned his firearm to his non-dominant hand, he began to use his dominant hand to gain entry through the window, which is when the unintentional discharge occurred. The bullet traveled through the office glass and into the office they were attempting to gain access to. After the firearm discharged, the sergeant immediately assessed his team and ensured that nobody was injured. The team gained access to the office and found that there was nobody inside. In this case, the bullet landed on the floor of the office and didn't travel anywhere else, so it was apparent that it had struck no one. The officer continued with his assignment, as we are trained to do, and notified his supervisor at the first opportunity. At no time were any police officers, members of the public, or any protesters in danger. This was purely unintentional. It's called an accident for a reason, correct? It's called an accidental discharge. The sergeant at the time was trying to clear an area, an unknown location that was dark. So he made the decision to transition his firearm from his dominant hand to his non-dominant hand so he could better try to gain access to the office. With that, he unintentionally pulled the trigger of his weapon and discharged the firearm. Moving forward, we will obviously counsel the officer and send him to retraining and reevaluate him, and we'll take it from there. He's a very experienced officer in the unit. He's been a sergeant in the unit now for almost 8 years with an impeccable record.
We normally don't do any kind of release on an accidental discharge. I do see how some are saying, hey, this is a operation that people were watching around the country, but our protocol normally on an accidental discharge, and especially when I talked to the police commissioner about it, I asked, hey, anything abnormal about this accidental discharge other than this is a newsworthy operation? Was there anybody in the vicinity of this accidental discharge? Did anybody even hear it? Even the other ESU members didn't hear it. There was nobody in danger. There was nobody struck. And for us, this is an accidental discharge. We average about 8 of these a year. And so my goal here was not to just try and make a story. My goal was to see, is there a story here in terms of, hey, is there something abnormal about this? And it wasn't. 2 questions?
The second part was, when is the body cam footage going to be?
Yeah, so right now, so